Greetings and welcome to our daily walk through the scripture for September the 12th. Your readings today find you reading Isaiah chapters 12, 13, and 14, finishing up 2 Corinthians in chapter 13, which, by the way, it says to read through verse 13, read through verse 14. That's actually the end of 2 Corinthians. So make sure to get that last verse in. Otherwise, for some reason, you're not going to have it. Psalm 57, verses 1 through 11, and Proverbs chapter 23, verses 9 through 11. Now, when you make a prediction, you're making a point not to think too far ahead, right? I mean, you've got, in this season that we have now of politics, you've got people that are trying to predict things that are going to happen in November, and everybody that's listening to them is thinking, you really have no idea. It's like right now is the start of football season, and you got all these people predicting the Super Bowl champions as if they know what's going to happen in February. Most of the time they get it wrong. It's just part of it. You can't make predictions that far ahead. I might be able to make a prediction, and meteorologists try to at least, to say, it's going to be sunny tomorrow. And they can possibly get that right. But we know how hard it is to make predictions really far in advance. What about a prediction 200 years in advance? That's what we get here in the in chapters 12, 13, and 14 of Isaiah, because as you read it, you see a couple of different things. First, you see this beautiful song of praise from Isaiah, which I love, because it's something that Isaiah is using to talk about how God is going to bring us back. He's going to bring back the people of Israel, and he's going to restore them, and he's going to bring them back. And at that point, all of the people of Zion will be able to shout aloud and sing for joy. But I told you Isaiah was written for Judah, Jerusalem folks, and it's actually also got prophecies for other people as well. It's, for example, we have the Babylonian Empire that's being done in Isaiah chapter 13. And this is where it gets really cool, because he's making a prophecy that's not going to be fulfilled until the time of Daniel. And here's the one that I'm talking about right now. He's going to talk about Babylonia. You're going to have all these different things coming. There's going to be a day when the Lord's going to come and make the land desolate. He's going to take all these other things. And he brings up in verse 17, "See, I will stir up against them the Medes, who do not care for silver and have no delight in gold." So this is really kind of an interesting little prophecy that happens. And you got to go all the way back over to Daniel to see that this happens, because the famous Belshazzar's feast and the hand that writes on the wall, and we're going to read about this later. Spoiler alert, I know. The hand that writes on the wall, and Mene, and all that kind of stuff. It's prophesying the fall of the Babylonian Empire by the Persian king Cyrus. And Cyrus is literally just going to walk in and take over Babylon. And this is a prophecy that was made hundreds of years ago. Babylon, the jewel of kingdoms, and the pride and the glory of the Babylons, will be overthrown by God like Sodom and Gomorrah, and she will never be inhabited or lived in through all generations. So what's happened to Babylon? You can't live in it anymore. Right now, it doesn't exist. It is a desolate city in Iraq. It's a ruin. There are inhabitants around it and near it, but Babylon, as what it was during the time of Isaiah and even during the time of Daniel, it really just shows how amazing God is at prophecies, because he's giving this thing 200 years in advance. We do well if we can tell you if it's going to rain this afternoon or not. And yet, here we are hearing a prophecy from someone that is going to happen hundreds of years later. That's the power of God. And yet it's interesting, and we all struggle with this, that we struggle to think whether God can handle our troubles now and whether God can keep his promises. If God can keep his promises 200 years, 2,000 years, 10,000 years, why can't we believe him when he says that I will never leave you or forsake you, that I will give you everything that you need to accomplish my goals? It's a good thought for today. How are we at trusting God? Can we believe these prophecies? Absolutely, because they have come to pass. They have happened. And the cool thing is, because we have seen God historically, that means throughout all of history, keep his promises, we can have confidence that he's going to keep his promises from today all the way until the day that Jesus returns and returns in glory. Okay, there's our thought for the day. Have a blessed one. We'll talk next time.